Question 1105. Would you rather end death due to car accidents or death due to terrorism?
Well,
Well, that's an easy question over here.
Is it?
well, I mean, I know statistically speaking, car accidents kill more people, but it's just what the other one entails, and I'd have to go with terrorism on that, or like end deaths relating to terrorism, because it just leads. If we could just end that, it just leads to more bloody cycles of fucking hate and shit that follows on top of it.
But still less deaths.
So if you can, if you could eliminate that, that would be a step in the right direction, I think.
We've got here. Yandiri says terrorism. Nikki says both. You can't have both. God says terrorism because it's the wrong God's fault and it's cruel. But it's more people.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not always.
In
It's not always.
terrorism worldwide was responsible for 0.05% of deaths.
Right, and how much?
I was in Wisconsin today, and there's this sign that the DOT seems to own and operate, and it gives the running death toll on Wisconsin roads. I can distinctly remember when I was a kid, this time of year or more towards the year end, that there were like 1,000, 1,100 or more people killed on the roads. The death toll to today, September 1, was 350 people. Doesn't that seem awfully small? Like it's really gone down. That's a good thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I know what, statistically speaking, what's the going to save more lives, but
yes,
it's just all the fucking misery that the other one brings, and the add-ons for that, like because if you also got to think, if you end all deaths related to terrorism, you can at the same time you end all deaths relating to like the war on terrorism, which claims just as many fucking innocent lives. So
we've got a quick answer here. Never Again says let's eliminate rage. Hanging with John Wild says car accident would save more. Chad says car accidents, terrorism is a label that gets thrown away. You get the cause of those like the IRA. Also, car accidents would save more people. Richard Madsen says death due to car accidents worldwide immensely dwarfs death by terrorism. Death by car accident is also terrifying. Terrorism will never get popular. Car deaths keep increasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's if we're looking at it just in pure numbers, though. Yeah, but it's all the other baggage that goes with the other one that I'd like to see us rid of.
But car deaths are going down. They absolutely are. Cars are significantly safer. The highway design is significantly safer.
Car deaths aren't over long term. They're not going down because there's still more cars at each point. They outweigh the safety, if that makes sense.
Well, this is like the reminds me of the old joke, was it Dave Allen used to tell, wasn't it, about he looked up the statistic and saying that 10% of all road accidents are caused by drunk drivers. That means that 90% of road accidents are caused by sober people. So statistically speaking, you should get sobriety off the road. Makes sense.
It does. Logic is flawless. Wanderer says, fuck terrorism and the religion of hate. God says, it's accident versus murder. It is. All the variables 2020 has screwed them. Ricardo says, car accidents. Chad says, car accidents kill innocents too. Brainbrook says, car accidents, more lives. Chad says, the question is, would you rather have the meaningful violence or the meaningless kind? See, Jen says, I don't know if ending death by terrorism would end terrorism. I mean, ending death by
That's a good point, actually.
Ending death by car accidents is not going to prevent car accidents.
Well, that's an interesting point, actually, because I mean, you just actually remember that I was just caught. I mean, the closest I ever got to a terrorist attack was probably about half a mile away from it when it happened. It was the Hammersmith Bridge bombing, and nobody was killed. There's no casualties. No one was even injured in that. But the amount of anarchy that it kind of caused was just to shut down London, the entire western side of London. Well, let's just put it this way: when you're in a van, it takes you like 2 hours to go from Chiswick to Hammersmith, and that's a mile.
That's normal.
So that's normal.
No, that's that. Well, no, normally it'd be an hour. It costs us an extra hour at least.
Well, I'm kind of with Chad and Richard in that terrorism being completely subjective, and us living in 2020 and having presidents like Donald Trump and things, I'm fairly sure that if I can get rid of all deaths due to terrorism and at the same time label all drivers terrorists, then I think job done.
Job done. The God says, can we choose to keep car death if the accidents kill terrorists? Then we could get rid of car accidents later.
Yeah, but before the car was invented, they had a lot of deaths by horse.
They did. And we've virtually solved that. There's only 2 or 3 of those a year now.
Well, I can understand that, yeah.
That actually happened quite recently over here. A guy with a horse and cart, and with the wind, and the horse got something hit the horse, and it panicked, and the fucking man died.
Well, it's this interesting fact on the back of it that cars were an environmental godsend, basically. That they averted an environmental disaster. Because the point at which they came into being, the point at which they were becoming, was the point at which cities were literally piling up horseshit. Just the quantity of horseshit because they had become so widespread of people using them.
Yeah.
At the time,
I don't think anyone had predicted how far it would go in the fucking opposite
but I
direction.
don't think anyone had predicted the same problem with horses. At the end of the day, it was some horses was fine, and then as population built up in those areas, the number of horses that we used massively increased as well. I think it's humans do everything to excess, and then it screws everything over.
Manda, cars hadn't been invented, you'd have been putting that great mind of yours into getting rid of the horse shit problem. That would make you feel so valued, wouldn't it?
Have you met Manda? She just sent armies of people in to deal with that.
I can give a wee inside joke, and Amanda's working on something at the minute now, and I was like, are you having fun? Wanting to talk about her work and stuff. She's like, I'm running a fucking simulation. It's just on the plants, stupid plants. It's like, oh yeah, well, what? And she's like, the animals are sort of better. Okay, yeah. So she's up to save the animals, but not for saving the plants.
It's more you get more of an emotional connection when it's some kind of like animal or something. The plants ones can be boring at times. I'm not saying I'm not interested in saving it. Obviously, it's what I'm trying to fucking do.
Well, you definitely need to give the plants more positive reinforcement.
I think it was
animals going
the way I worded it was save the animals, fuck the plants, and she just went, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So what would it feed the animals then?
Themselves.
Not the point.
If it was
not what I meant.
If it was a marijuana, I bet you'd talk to it nice if it was a marijuana plant.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Manda.
Well,
I'm still going to get together.
No, moving on.
What's your answer?
Plants. Oh, sorry.
Moving on, Dave.
Has Dave answered? I don't know.
No, but I would go
Actually,
with the car
has
accidents.
you did answer, didn't you?
Yep, I
Didn't you?
answered. Sure.
You did answer, yeah.
Plants can make compost, correct? And compost can be consumed by other plants. So, therefore, are plants cannibals?
Yes. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.